on, everybody? This is Robby, and I have
Matthew
here, and this here is the Hurricane Shrike. This is actually Kurt's Shrike. It has some actual furniture on there as well as a Mark 18 rail, so you can oogle over that. That's not the purpose of the video, but I'm going to talk about the Shrike a little bit. So up until this point, to get one of these bad boys, you had to get one of the Shrike kits, which only included the body and the front end. It was a $750 kit retail, depending on where you got it from. That's very, very expensive. But now, thanks to Krytac, we have the Krytac Shrike, which is this guy here. So very, very similar. Overall, we've messed around with it a little bit, and from what I can tell, there are almost no real design differences from the upper receiver on this guy and from the Hurricane, and it is rock solid. This guy is machined out of aluminum. Just like the other Krytac video, if you haven't seen the other Krytac video, which talks a little more in depth about the gun itself, check out the link that sort of shoots in below my head here. That'll take you to the video where you'll be able to see us talking about the internals and everything performance-wise about the gun. But for this video, we're going to be talking about the main features that make the Shrike special. So first off, the nice thing about the Shrike is that although it takes an M4 low receiver and M4 parts, it's still considered a support weapon due to the upper receiver. Now, some milsim events, off the top of my head, I believe Lion Claws and Black Sheep are still worried about this. I'm not sure about American milsim, but they are. Are they allowed? Because at some national events, something you have to be aware of before you pick this guy up. Even though it is technically a support weapon, as a support weapon upper, they still don't allow it at their events. So just look into that before you really make a decision on getting this gun in particular. But it's very, very cool. Pros about it over a normal LMG like an M240 Bravo or an M249. It's very, very lightweight. If you hold this thing, it weighs about as much as a normal M4, a little more because of the extra material. But as far as the receiver and everything goes, it weighs the same as the normal length, you know, M16 would, which is a huge improvement, especially with BBs and box mag support weapons. Like Matt, you carry around an M249 all the time.
Oh man, that thing's so heavy.
So Matt knows how it is here. I mean, with BBs and that thing, it's super, super heavy. So that's really nice. Any weight you can save is awesome. Other cool thing about the Shrike, although the upper receiver is different, it still takes a normal M4 rail system, so you can pretty much swap out the front end with whatever M4 front end you want. That's one of my favorite features because it allows a large range of customization over a normal M240 Bravo or M249 saw. So next thing we're going to talk about, and this is something that I saw go around a little bit already with the Shrikes just getting released last week, the box mag on these guys, it's very, very similar to the Hurricane box mag. From what I can tell, the cool thing is, the interesting thing about these box mags, although they are a 3,500 round box mag, they function a little differently. So you have your top reservoir here, and we're going to loop in some pictures. But it's actually, it's very, very similar to an M4 high cap internally. In fact, it has M4 high capacity magazine internals dropped into the magazine itself. There are two main compartments for BBs. You have your top compartment. Actually, I'll pop the top off here just so I can talk myself through it. So to get to the BB compartment and the battery compartment, so you can take that guy. So you have your top compartment here, which is where you load your BBs into, and then there's a lever on the back of the magazine which has an open with an arrow on it. If you open that arrow, that opens the additional storage down below, which is where the main storage unit for the BBs are. But keep in mind, where the BBs are fed from is the top compartment here. So every so often, the top compartment, I'd say maybe holds like 1,500 rounds. Every so often, you have to give the box mag a shake and then press the open valve and turn the box mag on its side to refill the top compartment with BBs. Otherwise, when you run out, the box mag obviously won't feed. So it has a very, very, like I said, very, very like the Hurricane box mags. It has a very, very beefy motor in here. There's actually a battery plugged in, so you can hear that. Compared to a normal box mag, that's whining pretty quick. That's a pretty quick whine. That's only off a 9-volt battery, so that's a pretty impressive whine. Looks like it's built very, very well. The battery itself actually has some carriage here. I can pop it out. It's with my pain. Okay, we'll let Matt do that while I keep talking. Still kind of a scrub, so. Almost got it. Hey, I just pounded out. There we go. So there she is. So it actually has its own little carriage here and its own little compartment, which is really, really nice. But I also saw something from a couple posters, just something I want to address. They said that they were having issues with BBs getting stuck in the motor compartment, and I really don't see that being the case with anything about this magazine. I mean, there's simply, I didn't see anything after looking at the inside. I didn't really see any way for the BBs to get in other than if you were to pour them in accidentally from here. So if you saw that, I'm going to debunk that for you. There's really no reason that should ever happen, so just keep that in mind whenever you're...
But in the event that something would get in there, it's going to jam it all up, so just keep an eye on that and just be very careful when you're pouring BBs in there.
Yeah, definitely. But other than that, yeah, it just loads like a normal M4 mag, so I'll go ahead and pop back on there and jam that in there, Matt. So there you go, boom. So like I said, it feeds just from the bottom of the magazine, just like a normal M4 high cap would. And then you actually have the option, which is cool, if your battery does die on the field or something. What's really cool about this box mag is that it has a wheel on the bottom. So if your battery does somehow die, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but you can still wind it on the field manually. If you
don't lose your finger in the process.
Yeah, your finger's gonna be hurting for certain. You do go with that. All the other standard Krytac features, you have your ambidextrous selector switch here. And you have your normal Krytac stock, and once again, that can most of those features can be seen in the other videos because they're very similar. So What do you think, Matt? What do you think of it being
I
a
mean,
support gunner?
I absolutely love this thing. So much lighter than 249s, 240s, and all that.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, V2 gearbox, all that, which
yeah.
is really nice. Standard hopper
Very
parts.
easy to find parts, very easy to like upgrade it. One of the things I have heard is that for most nanops, is that you basically have to keep your gas tube system the same to be able to keep this as a support weapon, which that means no like crazy like M4 rails a lot of times, which I'm guessing. Then one of the other things I came across, which is kind of cool, this thing just pops right out.
Yeah, which is
So
nice.
you can go through and put like say like a 249 rail on there.
Once again, that's all up in the air because like the Shrike is sort of a doozy for
Yeah.
Milsim event organizers. Personally, I think it should be allowed because I mean, come on, it's basically a sport weapon. So, if I were to run a game, I'd definitely allow the Shrikes. But you know, we don't make the rules, so it depends on where you're going. But just make sure you clarify that with the events before you go ahead and buy one of these for that specific event. So, anything else you want to talk about it? Pretty much covered.
Well,
I think
pretty much covered everything. Yeah.
So once again,
upper receiver swap.
Yeah, oh, that's right. The upper receiver, since it is a standard M4 lower, you can swap the upper receiver with any other Krytac upper. So if you were to buy, say, a Shrike kit, and then build a different upper, we actually found that the VFC uppers fit on the Krytac bodies pretty well. So if you were to build a VFC upper and you bought the Shrike, you could just use the Shrike upper whenever you felt like it. Then when you felt like going with a normal M4, you just pop a pin, swap it out, and you're good to go. So
if you want like a down the fence Shrike or Nevetsky Shrike, you can have that if you really want to.
You can definitely do it.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, well, this has been Robby and
Matt.
This has been Matt. Thank you guys for watching. Check us out on Instagram at Airsoft Official. Check us out on Facebook. Give us a like on the video and please subscribe to us. We're going to try to keep these videos rolling at a pretty steady pace here. Matt's doing an awesome job. If you saw the most recent Ask Ant video, that was all Matt on the editing and he did really, really well. So without further ado, have a good night, guys.
Take care.
We have the... Go. Don't move. Don't move.
It's gonna be so
Promise.
bad.
You good?
Go for it.
Krytac Shrike, which is this.
Can't even see him, he's so brutal.